welcome to We Love Food, your allergy-free cooking show. Today we're making a gluten-free pie crust to go with our chicken pot pie. So just wanted to get started right away. So here we go. Alright, so as you can see, this pot is boiling. It has 2 cups of water, and I'm gonna add the chicken. It is a large chicken breast cut up into bite-sized pieces. So I'm just gonna add the chicken. Also, I have this is parsley, granulated garlic, and a little bit of rosemary. The parsley is a half a teaspoon. I was gonna say 1 teaspoon, but it's a half a teaspoon of parsley, and some rosemary stems, and the granulated half a teaspoon of granulated garlic. We're gonna put that in here, mix it in. All right. So we're gonna let that simmer. As we're letting that simmer, we're gonna also add a quarter teaspoon of sea salt, a splash of crushed red peppers, and some bay leaves. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for joining. Welcome to We Love Food. All right, so, and we're gonna let that kind of simmer for about 7 minutes, and then we're gonna add the vegetables afterwards. Okay, so we're gonna put that to the side, put this away, and we're gonna get started with the crust. So I started making the crust. It's kind of hard to see, but started making the crust. Whew. I'm sorry, I have my camera at a weird angle and it's not really working for me. So, but we started making the crust. That is 1 tablespoon of butter and 2 cups of gluten-free flour, because this is going to be gluten-free. So bear with me, guys. I might have to move my camera to another location so you can see better. I don't know if that's better. You're limited. Let me see. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm sorry if I'm giving you a headache by adjusting the camera, but I want you to be able to see what I'm doing. So bear with me. All right. That looks a little better. So this is going to be in the back. We're going to put that in about 5 to 7 minutes. And bear with me, guys, while I share this out. Again, my name is Tiffany, and this is We Love Food, your allergy-free cooking show. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for joining. I do apologize. I'm usually here on every Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Central. Today I was having technical difficulties, so I'm running a little late. All right, so this is 2 cups of gluten-free flour with 1 stick of butter, not margarine, butter. So that's how that looks. All right, so now we're gonna add our pie crust. I've made before, so luckily I didn't have to go and research too much on how to do it, but I did add something a little different this time, and so it's not like the other pie crusts I've made in the past. So here we go. We have 2 teaspoons of sugar, white sugar. Then a half a teaspoon of salt, sea salt. I don't know why that's stuck to the bottom, but okay. All right. And then we also have, the light is shining directly on the bowl and it's white, so we're having difficulty seeing it, but I'm telling you what I'm putting in there. So We're gonna mix all of this together with our hands. So we have the sugar, the salt, and the butter. If you are dairy free, you can use vegetable shortening, like for example Crisco. Not promoting the brand, just used it before in the other pie crusts that I've made, and it's pretty delicious. So we have the meat that is boiling on this side, and it's been about 2 to 3 minutes. As you can see, the flour is changing colors. It's getting kind of brown, kind of looking crumbly, and that's exactly what we wanted. So thank you for coming in, guys. Thank you for joining. Welcome to We Love Food, your allergy-free cooking show. All right. So as this boils, we're gonna add, and by the way, this is 1 cup of frozen vegetables. So I have broccoli, which were chopped, and also corn, carrots, sweet peas, lima beans, and green beans. So it came in a mixture. The broccoli was separate, but they were frozen vegetables. I didn't want to chop vegetables and do this from scratch, so I had to make something a little easy. All right, thank you guys for joining. Thank you for coming in. So now that we have the dough a little bit where we want it, we're going to add the eggs. So that's 2 eggs, and I have them in a bowl already. You just add the eggs, and yes, I do put my hand in here after adding the eggs. So it's kind of cold because they came out of the refrigerator, and it's kind of slimy, but it'll blend in well. As we're doing this, you can set your oven to 425, and that'll be real helpful. So I want you all to see how I'm mixing it. Just make sure it's well blended in. The flour is going to take the same almost sand-like, light sandy color, and just mix it in with your hands. Now for all of you, now I'm going to add, instead of using water or milk, which most of these recipes call for, this time I'm using sour cream. I saw it on a recipe and I decided to try it, and I actually like the outcome, and I didn't want to keep the sour cream out. Oh, that wasn't good. All right, so we have the sour cream measure here. This is 1/3 of a cup sour cream. We're just gonna dump it in here. All right, and we're gonna mix this in, and it is cold, and it does feel weird. However, it's gonna hold the dough together. It's gonna give it all that necessary fat to make it a nice, beautiful crust. The one thing about using a fat to have it stick together is that you have to make the dough rest. So and some of this is still dry, so because the recipe called for 2/3 of a cup of water or milk, I'm using 2/3 of a cup of sour cream. And this is the brand sour cream I chose. I'm familiar with this brand, not promoting it or anything, but this is the brand I'm used to. So I put 1/3 of a cup at first. I wanted to see what it did based on the flour